Skogafoss. Now, this is a stunningly beautiful and powerful waterfall. People may come here out of curiosity, especially about the legend of the treasure chest, which I'll tell you about, but I'm sure they're going to leave stunned by the beauty of the waterfall. Skogafoss is one of the largest waterfalls in Iceland, and the falls themselves are 62 meters long. The staircase, which may not be as clear in a picture, but it's the brown staircase where you see a very little tiny person on them. It is a staircase going up to the waterfall with over 500 steps. So a very nice workout, especially if you've been driving around for most of the day. The great thing about the staircase is when you do climb it, you get to the top and you can look down at the waterfall, and it's a completely different view from the top. My tour guide told us a doctor and his son ran up the steps in 2 minutes during the summer. Well, they must have been in really, really good shape. It took me maybe 10 minutes, I think. Now, with every pro, there's a con, and my advice when climbing these steps is be careful. It is extremely windy climbing the staircase. I honestly felt I would be blown off 1 or 2 times, and I'm not a small person. So to me, it would have been better if the handrails weren't just a metal chain on one side and then a little bit shaky on the other side that was supposed to be more secure. Based on the wind and the mist, this was the only place in Iceland where I felt I got soaked. Now for the story. As I mentioned in some other videos, every site in Iceland seems to have some type of legend behind it. Now, there was a Viking settler in the area called Prasi who was said to bury a treasure chest full of gold behind Skogafoss. Now, of course, everyone who knew about the legend wanted to find the treasure. Who wouldn't? It's a chest full of gold. Apparently, a local boy came close and said he actually found the chest. He was hanging on to the ring at the side of the chest to pull it out of the waterfall. But the ring came off of the chest and it fell deeper into the waterfall, vanishing. The ring was given to a local church and is used on its door and later put in a museum in Skogafoss. I'll post a video with the museum. It's a great place to visit. One tip in terms of dressing. When you go, make sure you have waterproof pants and a rain jacket or a warm insulated jacket with enough water resistance. This was the only place I mentioned that I felt a little bit soaked and my gloves were definitely wet. I thought maybe because it's February and it's just rainy. But I happened to run into another person who went to Skogafoss in July, and she told me it was the same rain and wind, so I suspect July is a little bit warmer, but still rainy. So here's a pic of the observation post, and the observation post gives you another view from the top of the waterfall. But here is where there is a lot of wind, so be prepared to get wet when the wind blows the water and mist on you. What you can really appreciate, however, is being at the top. Besides resting from the natural stairmaster, being at the top and enjoying the power of this magnificent waterfall. Here's another pic of the top of the waterfall. And Skogafoss is one of the waterfalls in the Skoga River. And the water comes from 2 glaciers, which makes it unique in terms of waterfalls in Iceland. And definitely it's a unique place to visit. This ends my description of Skogafoss, a stunning waterfall in South Iceland. Hope you got a few tips.